Hi, my name is Brittany Vina and I am the marketing manager here at Pack Health, and I'm also a group fitness instructor. Today, we're going to be doing a core workout with your stretch band. For the purpose of these exercises, you're going to be doing about 8 to 10 reps or however many you're comfortable with. Let's get started. For our first exercise, we're going to be doing a standing teapot. The best way to do this is to make sure that your band is nice and flat, and you're going to be putting it under the arch of your foot. So hinge over at your waist and place the center of the band underneath the arch of your foot. You're gonna wanna try and grab it pretty close to the bottom. So you're gonna pull it up with you, and so you're gonna feel a lot of tension on that band to start with. But that's the good thing, because you're gonna be hinging over onto your side to try and get that extra work in. So bringing your feet hips distance underneath in front of you, keeping your core pulled in and your shoulders back and down. Bring your other hand to your side, and you're going to find that comfortable amount of tension for you, maybe adding a little more for a little bit of an extra challenge, and you're going to gently send your body over to the side and then pull it back up. Send it over to the side and then pull it back up. Where you're really going to feel this is going to be the engagement of the oblique on the other side. So you can stretch your hand over onto that oblique and then try and make sure that you're pulling it up by really engaging that side. You can add a little bit more tension onto that band to get a little bit more work in, and so just pull it up. The best way you can imagine this is to pretend that you're between two panes of glass and you're just sliding back and forth. You don't want to be hinging forward or hinging backward. You just want to take it over to the side. You can do the same movement without that stretch band and really just flex through your hand and then pull your body up. The main focus is to really just get that engagement on the opposite side's obliques. The next movement we're going to be doing is oblique twist. So you can keep your band pressed out halfway, about a quarter fold over or halfway fold, whatever you're comfortable with. We're gonna need to be on the ground for this, so step your right leg down, step your left leg down, and then come over onto your seat. Your feet are gonna come out bent in front of you. I like to keep my chest nice and tall to start, and then take an inhale, and then exhale it a little bit lower. So you wanna be at that point where your body is nice and straight and you're hinged over at your hip flexors. So that bend is coming from your hip flexors and your shoulders are pressed back. If you need a little bit of assistance with this, you can always take a pillow or a ball and put it behind your hips to keep you a little bit steadier up. You're gonna take your band out in front of you and reach your arms nice and long. You're gonna take your band then and twist your body over to the side. Your knees are still going to be driving forward, and find that twist over to the side and then bring it back to center. Switch it over to that other side, gaze follows, and then bring it back to center. You can do this same movement by losing the band and just take that same reach, or you can bring your hands into guard and find that same twist this way. That extension of your band is gonna give you a little bit more length as you reach it over and you bring it back to center and then take it over to the other side. Being conscious is to keep those knees forward, keeping those hips squared, and trying to keep it nice and low so that you get that extra ab engagement. For our next exercise, we're gonna do oblique pulls. So you're gonna need your band halfway folded across or even quarter folded as well. You can come over onto your side and send your feet out in front of you, hips distance apart. I'm gonna keep my band folded in quarters. You're going to take an inhale and then exhale, lower down to that low point, so almost where you feel that you're shaking. Again, you can use a ball or a pillow behind your back if you need a little bit more back support, but you're gonna take your band and reach it nice and long here. So your hands are going to be essentially about this far apart, so a couple inches apart, and you wanna find that tension on your band early. You want your hands at about shoulder height, and then you're going to take it over to the side, just gently over your left knee for this purpose. Drop your left hand, so you have just a little bit of a twist of that upper body, and then you're going to start gently pulling on that left-hand side. So just pull it down, release it with control. Pull and release it with control. This adds a little bit of upper body into that oblique work, but you're gonna feel that pull down the side of those obliques. You wanna keep yourself nice and lowered so that it's a hinge over at your waist and your knees are driving forward and your shoulders are pressed back. So you just take that band, then pull it down, keeping that right arm nice, long, and stationary, and just feel that pull down and then release it with control. For our next move, we're going to be doing reverse crunches. You're going to want your band to be nice and long for this, and you want it to be as flat as possible. You're going to come down onto your seat, take your knees bent in front of you, feet hip distance apart. You're gonna grab your band and tie it around your leg. So trying to keep your legs actually pretty close together so you can get that maximum tension. And then just tie them in the band in a knot on your upper thighs. So finding that knot. And you want this band to be tight enough to whenever you press out on it, you'll feel some tension. Because we're gonna be doing core work, finding that press out is actually key. So bringing your seat in close to your ankles, roll it down so that your back is flat on the ground. Point through your toes and bring your feet up so that your knees are parallel to the ceiling and you have a 90-degree angle behind your knees. You're going to point through your toes and you're gonna hinge your legs down at your hip flexors and then pull it up with control. Hinge your legs down and then pull it back up. You'll pretty much feel some immediate shaking when you do this, but you wanna make sure that you're not pushing your legs out, but you're actually hinging them down. Also, be conscious of your lower back pulling up off the ground. So you wanna make sure that you're not hyperflexing your back up, but you're keeping it nice and relaxed, and you're also keeping your hands nice and relaxed as well. Your shoulders pressed back and away. Just hinging at that hip flexor area and then pulling it right back in, feeling that engagement all in that center ab area. For our next exercise, we're going to be doing dead bugs. You wanna make sure that your band is still tied on your legs. You wanna tie your band so that it's tight enough to where when you find that press out, you're going to feel some tension on your outer thighs. Come over onto your seat and send your feet out in front of you, knees bent, hips distance apart. You're going to lower down, bringing your heels close into your seat, palms are open beside you. Roll your shoulders back and down, and then send your hands overhead. You're going to point through your toes, and then you're gonna pull everything up so that your hands are reaching up, and then your feet and your shins are coming to that parallel to the ceiling position, and then lower everything back down. Pull it in, and then lower everything back down. So for this, you wanna make sure that that back isn't pulling off of the ground, and then you're keeping your neck nice and long. So keep your gaze going up to that ceiling area. So your gaze should be pulling up versus trying to pull into your knees so that you're finding that reach up and that pull in. And you're pulling in through your hip flexors so that you're finding that engagement in that core area. Make sure to check out our Pack Moves playlist on our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions about exercise, talk to your provider, and any additional questions, make sure to talk to your health advisor.